Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to NS9 Live. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Jim. We have Ty. Jim, what's around your neck, buddy?
My fighting came in.
Look at that.
Look at that.
So you know what that means.
On a roll, baby.
All the viewers, Pirates taking an L tomorrow.
I came this afternoon. I put it on right before the show. And I walked over to my wife just to kiss her goodnight. She goes to sleep early, and while we're doing this, and she goes, "What is that around your neck?" She's like, "That is so ugly."
It's like 2010 vibes.
Well, she was like, "That's what all the baseball players in high school wore."
Yeah, I think I wore one of those back in high school.
Yeah, they're. You know what though? I was reading the packaging. It's infused with titanium water or something like that. So my blood flow during this show is just going to be off the charts.
Jim, imagine if completely in balance.
Can you imagine if he put one of those with one of those wristbands that with the balance bands?
Yeah,
you'd be unstoppable, Jim.
Game over.
Luckily, you just do a podcast.
It's gonna be great.
No, we got a cool show. We're going to talk about the Pirates. Pirates come off a good victory and a series victory. So we have that to talk about. Guys, we have a first-time guest coming on the show tonight. Just good vibes all around. So, Tyler, how are you doing today?
I am still wearing my baseball pants. I got home about 5 minutes ago. Switched out the sweatshirt, switched out the hat, and here we go. We'll talk some Pirates baseball now. But other than that, you know what? Buccos win a couple games, win a series, show a little life. Maybe there's something here, boys. Maybe there's something. Don't count them out yet.
It's the fighting.
You gotta believe.
It was till now. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. Should we bring on our guest?
Let's do it. So first time on the show. We're welcoming new Pittsburgh Pirates beat writer for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Colin Beasley. Colin, welcome to North Shore 9.
Thank you. Happy to be making my debut tonight.
That's good stuff. You took over the beat basically right at the beginning of the season. You and Noah going to be working together on that. I guess first off, just to sort of introduce you to our audience, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. What's your background? Where you come from, and what were you doing before this?
Yeah, so I've been at the Post-Gazette since September. I'm a Villanova graduate, been at the Post-Gazette since September, and I've worked mainly covering high school sports since September. Done a little bit of everything. I've written some features, done some college coverage, covered Robert Morris for their entire runs. That was fun to do throughout this winter and spring. And yeah, when Andrew Destin got his new opportunity, they promoted me to be on the Pirates beat. So I've been covering the Pirates since the beginning of the season. Didn't get to do anything at spring training, so I'm catching up a little bit, but I've been covering the first 20 games and have certainly enjoyed it so far. It's been a good experience. And Noah, I know he's a veteran of the show, but he's treated me well and taught me a lot, even just 20 games in.
How mad are you at Andrew for not leaving a month earlier, so that you could at least get the fun spring training part?
In a perfect world, that would have been nice, but hey, I'm happy that I'm
happy. You would have missed the Robert Morris stuff, though.
Yeah, I mean, probably rather have some spring training baseball than some Robert Morris hoops, but hey, I'm happy with what I've got.
You can say it. Andrew is selfish. We all know it.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
I mean, for such a nice guy, yeah, that is pretty selfish of him.
Yeah, just basically ended his whole PG career on vacation, essentially.
Right?
So rude of him to get that job at that time. It's just so mean of him.
It
so
really
mean
is.
of you, Justin.
Yeah. That was said. Welcome to the show. Let's talk Pirates. Bringing you on here to sort of set the stage for tonight. Let's talk about this national series. They came into it just completely lifeless after that Red series. Like they just had nothing going on. And there were some things that happened this series. You know, you had the necklaces, you know, that came into play on Monday night. And then, you know, the Tuesday following it, the bats just died. But I thought Wednesday, when you had the fireworks with the bench clear, the benches clearing, and like what were the vibes like in the clubhouse after that last night? Like, is that something that you think can kind of bring this team together, something they can rally around and be like, okay, let's do this? Like, what was everything like yesterday?
Yeah, the vibes in the clubhouse were really good yesterday. And the thing that's been most interesting to me is how this team has clearly been looking for something to rally around. Kutch kind of mentioned that yesterday with mentioning like how the team struggled a little bit. So you want something that can bring the team together, whether that's an almost fight, whether that's fighting necklaces, whatever it may be. He was clearly trying to, I don't want to say like fix the vibes, but get the team headed in a more positive direction. Last two clubhouses and even Monday as well, they've been some very happy clubhouses, probably happiest of the season. And even today, like with Andrew Heaney's 10-year celebration, that was so happy a clubhouse that at the end of our last interview, they basically just turned the music on and started enjoying themselves. And we reporters knew, all right, it's time to let them celebrate Heen Dog just a little bit.
What was the choice of music?
Yeah.
Good question.
I should have taken notes on that. Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm new. Give me a couple weeks. I'd get there. I'll write down what the song was. Put it.
I feel like he's a classic rock kind of guy.
So what?
Heen Dog, classic rock.
Heen Dog's got to be a classic rock kind of guy, or he could like mix it up with 90s hip hop. I feel like he might be a 90s hip hop guy.
I don't think he was on Ox. It seemed like something that was a little more modern. So I don't know who had it. I know
that's
Dennis
not bringing the team together if we're not playing Heen Dog songs.
Yeah, Heen Dog's got to take control after a start like that. No, but that was an outstanding start from him. He's been really, really good, and I think he's surprising a lot of people because he was. I mean, I don't think Pirates fans necessarily watched a bunch of Andrew Heaney games, prior to this year. He didn't sign for a ton of money, so I think fan sentiment was sort of just like, oh, it's just another one of these guys who stinks, who's coming in here. And he's really, I mean, he's been the best pitcher so far. And you're talking about a staff that has Paul Skeens on it, talking about a staff that has Mitch Keller on it. Like Andrew Heaney has been the best starting pitcher of the bunch through April 17th. Now, that's not to say it's going to continue, but like so far, like he's been real consistent outside 3 batters in Cincinnati.
Yeah, he's been really, really good. I was actually looking today through our comments after the signing, and fans were very upset about the signing of Andrew Heaney, which makes sense considering what's happened with this offseason. But he's at least that one signing has been pretty good. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to continue to be the best pitcher throughout the rest of the year. 4 games is 4 games, and that's a small sample size. But at least early returns on the Andrew Heaney signing, pretty dang good.
What have you noticed as far as the bullpen goes? I mean, that first week, it was so rough with Holderman and Bednar. Was it with them gone now? It's like everyone's just sort of fitting into their role a little bit better. And it almost seems like Derek Shelton is just managing the game a whole lot better. And I know we harp on Shelton all the time about his game management, but he's been pulling all the right strings with this bullpen ever since Bednar and Holderman have left it. What are you seeing there? Like, is he getting a really good feel for kind of like what situations to put these guys in, and they're getting a good feel for like what their jobs are? Yeah,
it sure seems like it. I was looking at the game notes today, and over the last 10 days, the Pirates have had the best bullpen in the major leagues according to earned run average. Again, small sample size. You can't really assume that that's going to continue, but Derek Shelton's put players in position to be successful. I don't know if that's something that's can directly be correlated to Holderman and Bednar going down, but I have talked to a couple of the relievers, and they've said that like by being put into higher leverage situations than they're used to, that's kind of brought out the best in a lot of people. Like, for example, Dennis Santana, he's obviously been excellent since the start of last season, but he's been very, very good this year, and he's getting higher leverage spots than he was expected to have. Caleb Ferguson has also been really, really good. Ryan Barucki, excellent as well. It's pretty much everything is hitting with the bullpen right now. Again, it's a short sample size, but over the last little bit and even over this entire start to the season, it's been a strength that I don't know many people expected the Pirates to have.
Yeah, it's kind of wild when you look at it. I'm just looking at the active roster. And so when you look at the relievers that are on the active roster right now, so that's basically everybody who's pitched except Harrington, Bednar, and Holderman. 2.16 ERA, and that was heading into today. You know, they pitched another inning and 2/3 scoreless. That's the fourth best bullpen in Major League Baseball, just in terms of effectiveness. So not something that I think any of us were expecting. Like, if we were expecting, if this Pirates bullpen was going to be good, then that meant that David Bednar and Colin Holderman were taking that step forward. And now it seems more like an addition by subtraction type of deal. I do want to talk about Bednar a little bit because he is pitching in AAA quite a bit. He hasn't given up a run there yet. It's been very effective. Has Shelton said anything about, like, is there a timetable for his return? Is just they're going to let him dictate that, or do you just not want to mess up a good thing right now and just kind of leave things as is?
Shelton hasn't said this. Part of me thinks that you want to just wait until you need him and you don't want to mess a good thing up. That's kind of my take on it. He's talked a fair amount about David Bednar. He's been really impressed by what's happened. I don't remember the exact day that he's eligible to return. I know that there was a little while where they just could not bring him up even if they wanted to without some sort of injury. I to be honest with you, I don't know the exact day when he became eligible to return, but I know that they definitely plan on him being back in the major leagues. I'd guess that it won't take too long for him to come back up, but at the same time, with how good the bullpen has been, you might not want to shuffle that.
Do you think when he comes back up, he's going to be slid right back into that closer spot, or are we going to see more of a flexible position with him?
I guess he's going to have to earn it a little bit. I think that it's tough to ease a guy like David Bednar in because of how good he's been in his history with the Pirates. I was joking with Noah that every time we mention him, we have to bring up the fact that he is, in fact, a two-time All-Star, because he was that good. I don't think he's going to go straight back into being the ninth inning man. I'd expect them to want to give a couple of zeros first, but I think it'll show up at some point.
Have you heard of, because we hear that they're saying that he looks good and he's working on things. Have you heard what exactly he's working on, and like, is he succeeding in that?
I don't know that I have, to be honest with you.
He's faced 16 batters in 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, right? Allowed 1 hitter. Like, that looks good. But again, it is AAA pitching. So, like, is he being more actually effective, or is he just getting AAA guys out?
To be honest, not sure. My understanding is it's a lot of him wanting to go to Indianapolis is to get some confidence back up and to just to get back in the swing of things and kind of remind him that he is, in fact, David Bednar, that he can be as good as he has been in the past. I don't know if it was his pitch mix, if there was any specific mechanical thing they were trying to work on. I think it was just a rep thing, but I'm not 100% sure on that, and don't want to speculate off something I'm not precise on.
And all good. Like, it just seems like everything's been very tight-lipped since he's been down there. So just curious if there's been anything.
We can't even find a picture of him down there.
I know there's like no picture of him like in an Indians uniform, like on the internet at all.
Back to Pittsburgh. Cleveland series coming up. I always thought Cleveland series were cool. I always thought we should play each other more often, even whenever, it was interleague play. Our cross league rival was always like the Tigers for some reason, because they pair Cleveland with Cincinnati. But Cleveland comes into town. Luis Ortiz starting tomorrow for Cleveland. Are we going to see a tribute video, Colin?
I wouldn't go as far as tribute video. I certainly was. I'm sure the Pirates were hoping to have Luis Ortiz versus Spencer Horwitz and to see who won this trade just in this series. Obviously, that's not going to happen. But it's always interesting to see how, especially starting pitchers, pitch against the teams that they left. Who was it? Name is Garrett Crochet, pitching against the White Sox, almost throwing a no-hitter there recently, and his return against the White Sox. I don't know that Luis Ortiz is going to have the same success against the Pirates. You never know. But it's always interesting for a starting pitcher to go against a team that it's tough to say gave up on you, because he was really good and the Pirates gave him up for something that they needed and thought they needed. But at the same time, I'm sure he'll have a little bit of extra motivation coming into this one.
Can I get you to the point? Because I haven't been able to get the other beat writers at this point. You're a Villanova guy. So
yes.
A Philly guy, I'm assuming.
Actually, no, I'm from LA.
Okay. Well, we got to get you to this point. I need someone else on board with me.
Okay.
Where we despise everything about Cleveland. Everything. I don't want to see a women's basketball team from Cleveland win a game. I don't want Cleveland to win anything ever. And Noah, Alex, all of them have all poo-pooed on me about this. I need you on board with we hate Cleveland. I need somebody out here to hate Cleveland as much as me. Can you be my guy?
I've been to Cleveland once, and I want to give Cleveland one more shot before I decide I hate it.
We're
But
done.
have you heard how much Noah hates Cincinnati?
It's not Cleveland. I hate Cleveland.
I know it's not Cleveland, but have you heard how much he hates Cincinnati?
I don't think I have.
I went and got Skyline chili with this man. I've never seen someone more upset than him trying to get some Skyline chili down. He was disappointed in Cincinnati's ballpark. He was disappointed in the Reds. He was disappointed in the bar we went to after the game. It was just a miserable man.
Noah gets to have a point.
Yeah, so I know it's not Cleveland. Hey, but maybe a trip to Cleveland and I'll join you on this. I hesitate to jump in on it so quickly.
Nope. You got to blindly jump in. Like, I don't want Stipe Miocic, whatever his name is. I don't want him to win a UFC fight. I don't care. I don't want anyone from there to have happiness.
It runs.
Well,
deep.
hey, let's sweep the Guardians then, Tyler. Let's do that.
Exactly. Thank you.
All right, Colin. Hey, don't want to take up too much of your time, but appreciate you coming on board here. Where can everybody find your stuff?
Post-Gazette.com. I have to say that. I'm also on Twitter at Colin_Beasley. I retweet a lot of Noah stuff, and Noah retweets a lot of my stuff, so you can see it there. Those are the two main places to find me, on the Post-Gazette website and on X. Apparently, I can't say that, on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's Twitter.
On Twitter and in the Post-Gazette website. Those are the two best places to find me.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, hey, appreciate you jumping on board. We'll have you on again soon. All right.
Thank you. I'll look forward to it.
All right. Thanks, Colin.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Cool,
So that
guys.
was Colin Beasley from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, new Pirates beat writer.
Don't like that. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
he didn't want to hop on board. You know what, though? You can't just blindly say that.
Yes,
hate
you can.
Cleveland. You do
Yes, you
need
can.
to at least have a little bit of.
You
you
sure
got to
can.
experience.
You
it
know what?
first.
Well, that's if you have any integrity. Tyler
The
doesn't have any
best.
integrity.
The best is that your dad?
Yes, it is.
Your dad's YouTube name is Ty's dad.
Yep.
That's incredible.
Raised you right, son.
Darn right.
I will say this. I haven't been to Cleveland in quite some time, but I do not remember good things about it.
Thank you, Jim.
You're
There's
welcome.
nothing good about it.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna be honest. I've always kind of
nobody
enjoyed
likes you.
Cleveland. But it's been a long time since I've been there as well.
You said you like Cleveland?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed myself there. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Ironically, I think the last time I was there, I was at a Danzig concert.
I don't know what that
That's how
word
long
means.
it was.
I was there for like a work thing a while back, and I did go to a baseball game. I've been to a few baseball games there. It's a decent ballpark. Doesn't hold a candle to PNC, but like if you remember, it was one of like the first, like it and Camden Yards were kind of like the first two like of the modern ballparks. So like when it opened, it was pretty nice.
Yeah.
I feel like it hasn't stood the test of time though, like PNC has and will.
Oh, Pansy's great.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, like I said, I've always enjoyed myself in Cleveland. But to Tyler's point, I'm okay with that. We can hate
You're
them.
an idiot.
I'm good with that too.
Yes, we hate them. They get no happiness.
All
They
good.
get Deshaun Watson. That's what they get.
Yeah. So speaking of no happiness, back to the Pirates. So the Pirates play the Cleveland Guardians.
Winners of 3 of 4, DiNardo.
But let's revert back. Let's talk a little about this national series here. Let's start it with Paul Skeens once again. I mean, Paul Skeens is coming out there and just looking every bit of the guy that this team drafted and hoped for, and after winning Rookie of the Year, I mean, he's just dominating, just absolutely dominating. Is he just going to be the best pitcher in baseball? Is that what's simply going to happen?
Already has.
But he's going to continue. Is he just going to be that? Like he is.
Are we talking about Andrew Heaney?
Talking about Paul Skeens, but we could talk about Andrew Heaney because
No.
and also I want to give my boy Heaney some flowers too. But we're starting with Skeens right now.
Yeah, no, but Paul Skeens he's the best pitcher in baseball. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he hasn't even looked all that great right now. And he's just going to get better. I mean, if you kind of like extrapolate his statistics all the way out back to when he first debuted, there's still nobody who touches him during that time frame. He's like a full half run better than the next best pitcher since his debut.
2.12 ERA in 27 starts. It's ridiculous. And like he's getting bad luck this year on his 2.98 ERA.
Yeah, he's really good. And I think it's really frustrating to talk about it because he's really good and this team's not. But in all reality, he's definitely, I think, the best pitcher in baseball. He's probably the best pitcher I have ever personally seen in my life. And that's not to knock on anyone that I just didn't see, but in terms of the things he can do, it's silly, man.
Yeah, I mean, since his debut, though, 2.12 ERA. Hunter Brown of Houston, next closest to him in that time frame, 2.32. So shout out Hunter Brown. But yeah, I mean, Skeens has been heads and shoulders better than the next best pitcher. The next best in the NL, Michael King at 2.51, then Chris Sale at 2.75. Tarek Skubal, who won the AL Cy Young Award, 2.55. So like he's been better than both league Cy Young winners since his debut. He's the best pitcher in baseball.
Ridiculous.
Yep.
You want to talk about Heen Dog now too? A little bit more? I'm just thoroughly impressed with Heen Dog. And it's funny because I go back to like when the trade happened, things we talked about. And like he's been above average. I know a lot of people give him hate, when that signing and such. And I remember saying too, there's a little bit of upside with him. Yes. Preferences, of course, like this isn't going to maintain. He's not going to have a 2.13 or 2.12, whatever it is right now, ERA for the rest of the year either. But Andrew Heaney is showing a lot more swing and miss stuff than I was ever anticipating. And I know, like this time it was the Nationals and whatever, but like he's looked good every time, especially again outside those 3 pitches in Cincinnati, more or less. Because again, like that Cincinnati game, I thought he looked really good too, except for that inning. Andrew Heaney, fellas, is this another just like? I mean, we give this regime some hate for some things, but it seems like every year they bring in one lefty starter, and that guy looks really good. You saw what they did with Quintana, and how Quintana's pitching right now too in Milwaukee. Like, is Andrew Heaney that guy right now?
I think what you're just seeing is people underestimating like how good he was. And I don't think Andrew Heaney is a top of the line starter by any means, but I think Andrew Heaney is a solid number 3 to like a really good number 4 starter in Major League Baseball. And those are people who are going to put up 4-game stretches where they look really, really good. You're not the first person to mention the swing and miss stuff. Like Greg Brown mentioned it on the broadcast today a lot. Like they weren't anticipating that much swing and miss stuff. But I mean, this is a guy who Last year struck out almost one person per inning. The year before he struck out more than one per inning. The year before he had a 13.6 K per nine. The year before, like Andrew Heaney's a strikeout pitcher. Like he always has been. So the strikeouts have really always been a big part of his game. And even today, like he started off, I think strikeout. He did then settle in. He only struck out 2 more batters the rest of the game. Finished with 4. But I mean, strikeouts have always been a big part of Heaney's game, and he's kind of just keeping that going. His K rate after today is pretty much right in line with where it's been his entire career. So I don't really think we're seeing anything all too different from Andrew Heaney. I really just think that we just didn't give him enough credit to begin with. Now he's pitching really well, but like there's going to be some rough outings down the road. But I mean, he's been above. If we think Mitch Keller is a good starting pitcher, Andrew Heaney has performed better than Mitch Keller each of the last 3 seasons as a starting pitcher in terms of just run prevention. So like, I don't think people really understood that.
Not just people, Jim, like organizations didn't understand that. Because like there's no reason this dude should have been out there as long as he was and signed for the contract that he did. Like, and he's not a world beater by any means, but he's a pro's pro. Like this guy knows how to get guys out. He understands pitching just at a very good level. And he's able to mix speeds really well. He knows who he is. And you mentioned it earlier, Jim, like he is a strikeout pitcher. Like it's not a dude it's not Bailey Falter. And no offense to Bailey Falter, but I think we get like people get in this mode with these like soft tossing lefties where they think they're weak contact. Like we're going to just throw curveballs that are really loopy over the plate. No, like Andrew Heaney, he's a vet. And I think it's more of like the MLB is just stupid sometimes. Like a guy like that should not hang around and get a 1-year deal.
Well, I want to say like Fangraphs had him projected at like 11 million per year, like 11 or 12 million per year. And the fact that he just kind of hung around, didn't get signed until after spring started. Like this is a guy, like spring training was already going on. He wasn't in anyone's camp. And the Pirates got him for $5.25 million. Like they got a starting pitcher who over the last 2 seasons has pitched 300 innings for $5.25 million. 300 innings of above average baseball.
Right.
It's a steal.
I mean, he's a 2-war pitcher. You know? Like that's double digits. That's
the only argument.
8 figures for sure that you should be getting.
That's like the only argument I'd have back at Colin was like people complaining about it. I don't know if anybody really complained about it. I feel like we're all on the same page of why is he still available?
I feel like a lot of
fans.
You dug in, I feel like if you dug into it, like you had a pretty good idea of what you were getting. But I do recall quite a few Twitter fans that were poo-pooing this signing.
Maybe I missed all that, but I mean,
it seems, and again, like I get it too. It's the Pirates, right? But like Andrew Heaney's not a sexy name, and this offseason was filled with a lot of unsexy names. So just kind of like another like, oh, here we go again. Like who's Andrew Heaney? But in the grand scheme of things, Andrew Heaney is good. You know, he's a solid pitcher. And I felt like we had to kind of hype that up. And again, like it's paying dividends. It's showing. Like this is why people that had more of an understanding were kind of, again, exciting is not the word for it. Like Andrew Heaney's not exciting, but like you were happy this deal was made. It adds depth, right? Injuries happen. That's what took place here. Like Jared Jones is out. And Andrew Heaney is doing a better job than you probably anticipated Jared Jones to be doing right now if he was here. So like, again, this is why this is such a good signing. Also, Bailey Falter looking good.
Also, like, if I really want to nitpick here, could we maybe offer this dude a 2-year deal?
Maybe now.
Would have been great.
Extension season.
Yeah, because if he puts together a 3rd straight season where he's pitching roughly 150 innings and he's pitching around, hovering around a 4 ERA. I can't imagine he's going for 5.25 million next year.
I'd assume not.
Yeah. But no, so far, so good out of Andrew Heaney. I mean, you got to love what you've seen. He's given up 6 runs in 4 starts.
Yep. He's been awesome.
Yep.
Oneil Cruz, 2 swings, two back-to-back swings, basically.
Yeah.
2 home runs, some more stolen bases. So he's on 4 home runs on the year, 9 stolen bases. As he said on the post-game show today, put out there 29 straight stolen bases. Since April 22nd, he's 29 for 29. He's perfect. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous. But Oneil Cruz and all, and let's go. We're talking just specifically offense. Let's lay off the defense right now. But Oneil Cruz offensively, it's looking solid. Kind of up and down. He had a 3 strikeout performance the one day, but overall, I'm pretty satisfied with Oneil Cruz this year. And big game, big series.
He had a good series. I mean, without Oneil Cruz this series, you don't win today's game. And yesterday's game is looking a whole lot closer than it was. So, and that's the kind of hitter he is. This offense greatly lacks impact bats in their lineup, and he's the one guy who can win you a baseball game, single-handedly. And we've seen it a few times already this year. Now, on the flip side, we've seen him lose some games single-handedly this year on defense. But I feel even that this week so far, I haven't noticed him doing anything bad defensively. So hopefully he's becoming a little more comfortable out there. Hopefully he can at least provide stable outfield defense. I mean, I think before our expectations maybe were a little off, because all offseason we were talking about how oh man, we love Oneil Cruz out there. His athleticism, it should play perfectly. There were conversations that we had on this show about potentially winning Gold Gloves for Oneil Cruz. I think we're far from that point right now.
We want to go back on that.
We are far from that point. But if he can at least become competent out there, his offense is good enough to make him one of the better center fielders in baseball. I do want to see more from him, though. Like I said, the stolen bases, I like. I love what I'm seeing out of him on the base paths. I love the aggressiveness. 9 stolen bases. I mean, he's on pace for 70-something stolen bases this year, which is insane. He still needs to be better, though. And again, this offense, it needs Oneil Cruz to take a big step forward. Right now, he has taken a step forward since last year. If you just look at kind of offensive output, OBP's up, slugging is up a little bit, but he needs to take a bigger step forward. And I like him going in the leadoff spot these last few games. He's been setting the table. The leadoff homer today was great. That maybe gives him a little bit more freedom on those base paths and takes a little bit of pressure off the guys behind him. But he needs to be an impact offensive talent on this team for them to have a chance to win. And again, that's what you saw this series, was he was impacting games. He needs to continue to do that.
Fully agree. I'm with Jim. I don't think he's quite there yet. And really coming into these last couple of days, I was looking at everything, just thinking, we need him to hit the ball over the wall more. At the end of the day, the 115 mile per hour StatCast numbers, they're all pretty. They look great. All the records he breaks through there, they're great. If you're not hitting the ball over the wall, it doesn't matter. Last couple of days, we started to see that. He can't get into this slump or this stretch where it's a 2-week period, 3-week period where we're not seeing any extra base hits. We're not seeing the ball over the wall. Recently, that's, I think, why we're feeling a little good about him. I think defensively he's looked better. I know we didn't want to talk about it, but I think he's looked more competent there. At least we haven't seen anything that we want to complain about. I want to see the ball go over the wall more. And right now, I think he's on like a 31 home run pace, which is mainly guided by the last couple days where he's done it, but it can't prolong where we're all of a sudden in May and he's still at 4 home runs. And we've seen that happen with him where he will fall off a cliff for a while. I'm not ready to anoint him like the face of this offense here until I gotta see a good bit more, man.
So that's fair. On the flip side, who is the face of this offense?
Grim Reaper.
Because this offense has been struggling. And again, like that's all fair because right, like I'm not ready to anoint Oneil Cruz anything yet. He's shown strides. He's been a lot better since June of last year hitting wise. Again, like it's encouraging seeing him hitting lefties and such. Starting off this year, he's been walking more, striking out less, although it crept up a little bit recently. Yeah, you want to see more actual power. The stolen bases is great. But again, like the big problem is this offense is so bad, guys. I mean, thank God he hit that homer today, or else this game might still be playing. But yeah, I don't know, man. So like, let's go back to that brawl a little bit here, because I want to ask your point of view on something. Because again, like this offense has been lifeless. Then they hit Brian Reynolds, almost hit Kutch. Things get tense. Bench is clear. Kind of a brawl, a little bit of brawl. Wanted to see a brawl, didn't get to really see a brawl. Tommy Pham really wanted to, didn't get to. I wish he would have, because I would have hit my over on the ejections. We're getting close, guys. We're getting close. But with that said, Oneil Cruz comes up the bat. Grand slam. Today, home run. They win again. So they win 2 after this. They were talking about last night. Do you think this is maybe a turning point? Did this maybe ignite this team to some level? Does the brawl have anything to do with this?
It's hard to say without like being in the room. Now I do know that like events like this can bring a team together, and it can be like a rallying cry. It can be a rallying point. At the end of the day, you still got to hit the ball, when you're on the field. So like how long does it last? Like Monday, we thought, hey, we got these necklaces. We're good to go. If we bust out for 10 runs, next day we got shut out by Mitchell Parker, or was it Mitchell Parker the next day? Like, no, it was Jake Irvin. Like,
oh, right. It was Irvin that day. Yep.
So like you get shut out by Jake Irvin the next day, and it's like, well, I guess the necklaces didn't carry over. But then you win the next 2 games and you're feeling good. I think just like winning breeds more winning. Like that's essentially what it is. So if it takes one thing to light a fire under you so that you can win a game, and then that game ends up being, hey, you win a series, and then maybe you win the next series, that's when like the momentum starts to roll. So I don't know if the fight is necessarily going to ignite a spark in this team that will lead them and turn the season around. What's gonna turn the season around is reeling off some wins. And hey, 3 out of 4 is a good start against the Nationals at home. Now you got Cleveland at home. Like, win your home series. That's just what you've got to do. And so far their home record has actually been decent. They're above 500 at home, I think. But they just got to keep winning.
You attended all the away games.
That's what it is. Yeah. They just got to keep winning.
And hey, you need to put attending.
Yeah, if the fight's what started it, then that's what we're going to attribute it to.
We are skipping over the part where Jim has to stop going to games.
I like how Jim just dismissed it. He just kept going on this conversation. His gym analytics here.
Well, that's because it's clearly not a.
It's clearly your fault.
We'll find out the next time I go to a game.
Well, hopefully never.
May 24th.
May 24th.
We're keeping him out of the ballpark that night. We got enough.
Just lock me. Just tie me up under the underpass on the North Shore.
You're not going inside. Mm-hmm. The fight, I mean, I think that ignites an offense for the day. I don't know if it does it over a series, and like Jim mentioned, like I actually agree with everything Jim just said. You said the big part, like winning breeds winning. Also, hitting breeds hitting. Like hitting is contagious. All it takes is one of these guys in this lineup, just one person here, start hitting the ball. Somebody step up. That's what it comes down to. And in all reality, there's truthfully just the way this roster is constructed at this point in time, they're not good enough to be able to sustain it. They're not as bad as they've been. They've been atrocious. They're better than that, but you need somebody here. Like you need a Brian Reynolds to have a June type of month. You need Oneil Cruz to take off for a few weeks. You need Jack Sawinski to run into a few baseballs. All of a sudden, things start to look a little different. I think hitting's contagious. It just nobody's really done it enough.
Well,
thank you, Matt.
I mean, that's another thing. Brian Reynolds. I mean, he's batting 197 right now, 69 weighted runs created plus. I mean, my point of this, I don't know if this really ignited anything. You know, I know there was talk about it last night or whatever, but the offense came back and did nothing today outside of Oneil Cruz. Like, it didn't show as if that carried over and like, oh, this is what's going to galvanize us together and we're going to power through and whatnot. It just is a moment, but maybe this is a moment to help build upon the next moments and the next moments to help do that, right? Maybe this helps build that momentum to get to where they need. But like, I don't look at this as like, okay, this fixed the Pirates. Now they're coming together and whatnot. But something needs to, because again, like this offense is struggling and we understand that the depth is very, very poor. And that's been super exposed because of injuries. But, you know, we're without that. Like Brian Reynolds looks pretty bad at the plate right now. You can't have that. Now, he is back in the field, so thankfully that allows Kutch in the lineup, who is performing decently well. You know, one of the better hitters on the team. Cabrian Hayes, like, has flashes, but overall, he still kind of needs to do better. I know he got really unlucky the earlier part of the year. But it's like, you know, I get the depth is bad, but the guys that you need to succeed and need to perform aren't really doing that either right now.
Yeah, I mean, the team, even after that 10-run outburst on Monday, they came into today 29th in baseball in weighted runs created plus, one point above the Colorado Rockies, who just fired their hitting coach. Shout out Clint Hurdle, by the way, getting the gig. But the Rockies fired their hitting coach today for being worse than the Pirates. They're the only team worse than the Pirates. And so that's kind of where we're at. We're sitting there with teams who are firing their hitting coaches. Like that's where we are. And
also,
today,
can I add one more thing?
Yeah,
firing their hitting coaches while also having zero expectations. Like this also isn't we need to go to the playoffs and now it's 3 weeks deep and we're not finding success, so you got to go. This is, we're just kind of rebuilding here too.
Yeah, the Rockies are supposed to be bad, and they are bad.
Right.
No, I lost my train of thought. You
my bad.
I was gonna go. No, but just to kind of sum everything up, yeah, like I mean, this offense is bad. They need to get better, and they need to get better quick, because the starting pitching is giving them a chance to win every single game. Someone in the comments here earlier said that's what makes this so frustrating, is that we're getting such good starting pitching. Matt says it right here, that every single game they're playing right now is winnable with just like a half decent offense, and they haven't been able to provide that most nights. So we've seen this before, where like pitching is it's going to fluctuate. Like you're going to have a stretch where you're going to have some rough pitching, and you need to take advantage of when your pitching is hot and reel off some wins. And they did it this series. They need to keep it going. As long as this pitching is performing, like they've got to do enough to win the games.
They just got to bury the Guardians.
And
bury
crush
that shithole of a city.
Cleveland.
Crush
Do
them.
that for Ty's dad.
Do
son.
it.
Yeah.
Just crush that team. Make them miserable. Because if I have to hear one more damn Cleveland team or Cleveland fan tell me that they're going to Oh, but the Guardians are in Pittsburgh this weekend. It's Skeens bobblehead. Let's go get one of those. No, those are for us. Go jump in the lake. Shithole. Have fun with Kenny
Well,
Pickett.
You
Let the
heard
hate flow
Tyler.
through you.
Make sure the first 25,000 fans in PNC Park on Saturday better not be one single Cleveland fan.
Better
if you
not
see
be.
a Guardians fan in
Kick 'em.
line,
Box them out.
throw them in the river.
Throw them
Throw him in the river. Throw him.
You have Ty's approval.
Yep.
But like you're right. I mean, the starting pitching should hold up. The starting pitching you assume is going to be pretty good against the Guardians. This offense has to come through. But let's talk a little bit about, the bullpen here, because we did talk a little bit about it earlier in the show. But yeah, like with Bednar out, with Holderman out, this bullpen looks way better. And it's crazy because just like you said, Jim, you thought if this bullpen was going to be good, it's because Bednar returned back to his form, which I thought, we could see. And I still do, right? But by no means am I writing off David Bednar at this point. Colin Holderman, I'm a little more shaky on. But, if it's going to be good, it's because David Bednar returned to form and he looks outstanding. And the matter of fact is, this bullpen's good because he just doesn't exist in it anymore. He and Colin Holderman are out, and they have gotten so much better. And granted, it's small sample, right? It's April 17th at this point. Things can quickly change. But to what we've seen so far, Ryan Brucke, we've enjoyed. It sucked that he got injured. I think we're all grateful that he signed back for a minor league deal. Looked good in spring. Saw him make the team coming out of camp. Kudos, great job. Caleb Ferguson, I think we all liked that signing as well. Certainly some signs that he can come back to form and be a solid pitcher. He's shown every bit of that. Justin Lawrence. Like, what a great addition. This guy looks outstanding. His stuff is filthy. I mean, honestly, like the way I look at him, he to me, he reminds me of like Kyle Crick light. Just like that sweeper's like not, Crick's, I've gone back.
Who's he fighting in the clubhouse? We
don't know yet. We're going to hopefully nobody, because we know the person that Crick fought, what happened. So if we're going down that path, we don't want that again. But, and then like Dennis Santana, like this team has proven themselves for some reason or another. They can pick bullpen arms, and it's coming to a point where it's very Huntington-esque. So this is like a whole misfits. Who are these guys? And they're coming out and just being lights out as a group.
Well, they're playing matchups right now, and they're performing. Since Colin Holderman went on the IL, Tim Meza hasn't given up a run. Justin Lawrence hasn't given up a run. Dennis Santana hasn't given up a run. Joey Wentz hasn't given up a run. Caleb Ferguson has given up one run. Chase Shugart has given up one run.
I mean, guys, can't expect them to do this the entire time, but certainly have some confidence in this group.
It makes you wonder why Shelton just automatically was like 8th and 9th inning. It's time for Holderman and Bednar.
After saying it wasn't going to be that way.
Like it kind of makes me upset that we started the season the way that we did. What if we were just handling the bullpen like this all along, and just saying, okay, the guy who's pitching best and the matchup that's going to be best is the guy who's going to pitch right now? Because Derek Shelton has become a lot better at managing this bullpen when he didn't have the choice to bring in Bednar or Holderman. Before, when it was just like, oh, Holderman gets the 8th, Bednar gets the 9th. Awful. Now that he's got to pick other people, he's been great. Why didn't we do this earlier?
I don't know about great. He's been okay. I mean, I guess that choosing bullpen guys, yeah. He has been great.
He has managed the bullpen way better now that he doesn't have Bednar and Holderman to choose from.
Yeah, I don't even want to poo-poo Shelton on it, but because it's like a major league manager mindset that I have my closer, I have my setup man, and then the rest of it I'll figure out. So obviously, I think that does help a good bit, and also At the end of the day, you know why it works? Because Dennis Santana has been so damn good.
That's kind of where I fall. Like I'm not trying to take away credit from Shelton. I do think he's been playing the matchups right. There's been some circumstance, like Tyler and I were on a post game with like putting Brucky, but kind of minor. But like I feel like it's easy to say you're pulling all the right strings when the entire bullpen is performing.
Sorry, I'm just reading a comment.
Me too.
What I miss. Is
You're
it
good.
Paul?
We can't. I don't think we can put it up.
No.
Oh,
It's Bucko Mike. But continue.
that's where I end though. Again, I'm not trying to take away credit because again, like I do think he's been doing the right moves, but it's also easy to say that you're doing the right moves when your entire bullpen is just performing. That's what they've been doing. Like everyone is going out there. I mean, you were up the stats. Like everyone's been performing, so it's easy to say you're pulling the right strings when everyone is doing the job. But kudos to the players for doing their job. And again, like these are really just a bunch of misfits. But to the point, like Tyler said, I've been talking about since the Orioles way back. Like that's how you put together a good bullpen. This is what you got to do, and they've been doing it. So, like if there's one thing you can credit for Sherrington and the company right now, it's they have been able to develop pitchers and they've been able to find relievers and a lefty starter every single year and turn them into something.
Since Holderman's been on the IL, this active crop of relievers on the team right now, 1.84 ERA.
And it doesn't seem very like fluky either. Like they've been good. Maybe a little fluky, but like they've been pretty good.
Yeah, they've been good. I mean, Dennis Santana looks great. Ferguson looks great. Justin Lawrence looks like they stole him off the waiver wire. He looks awesome. So yeah, lots of. I can't say enough good things about this bullpen right now at this point of the year, without Bednar and Holderman.
Agree. Well, anything else we want to talk about with the National Series?
Piss on the
I don't think so. It was good to win 3 out of 4. That was a team it's not a good team. You've played bad teams earlier this year that you couldn't beat. So beating them was nice.
What's up, Bridget Bucktober? From the Dominican. What a flex.
He needs to go visit the complex over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, imagine being in Dominican and watching a YouTube video on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Lame.
Sicko. With Ty-Ty's
Go have
dad
fun.
and
What are you
Bucko
doing?
Mike talking.
But all right, so
he's got
transition a little
Bucko
bit.
fever. Everybody's got Bucko fever right now.
Yeah. It's spreading. So I don't know. I guess to kind of get your guys' point on this, let's talk about Bednar a little bit. I mean, he is having the rehab. That's brought up. 5 innings pitched, only allowed 1 base runner, got everyone else out. So he's faced just 16 batters, 8 strikeouts. I mean, again, like the numbers look good. Fortunately, everything just seems so tight-lipped around him right now, like information-wise, anything. So like I don't really know what he's doing per se down there. But what do you guys think about David Bednar and his potential return? That's probably going to come sooner than later, I would imagine.
I don't know if it is coming sooner than later, to be honest. Like I think he might be down there a little bit of time. I was looking.
How long?
I don't think we see David Bednar in a Pirates uniform in April.
Okay.
So, and I was diving into some StatCast stuff because yeah, it's hard. Like I don't watch the Indianapolis games, but I did dive into some of his StatCast stuff while he was down there. He's really not throwing his splitter very much. He's leaning heavily on his fastball and his curveball against these guys. The fastball seems to be well located for the most part when he's throwing it. The curveball still seems to be just like really inconsistent. Some outings it'll be there and it'll be where you want to be throwing curveballs. And then sometimes you'll see these curveballs that are right in the middle of the zone or at the top of the zone. And you're like, that's not where you want to be throwing those curveballs, David Bednar. So I feel like he's gonna be down there for some time until he can figure all this stuff out. Like I said, the results so far have looked good. But again, he's facing AAA hitters, and we've talked about before how the talent gap between AAA and Major League Baseball is higher than it's ever been. So like a pitcher just with David Bednar's stuff should pitch really well against AAA hitters. But no, I say like let him get down there, let him put together 10, 15 good outings and like just dominate for a while. But like he needs to get that secondary stuff working. And from what I've seen, it's been too inconsistent.
I haven't dug into many of the numbers yet or really watched him in AAA because it's almost impossible to, but I'm with Jim. Like it's almost like a kid in timeout. Keep him there a little bit extra longer. I'll give him a month down there. I don't care. Figure it out yourself. And then when you get back here, you can go pitch every now and then in the 6th inning role. But as long as Dennis Santana is pitching the way he does, I'm not interested in getting him back up here for a high leverage spot at all. I'm good with keeping him down there as long as possible. He had enough time to show he's a capable major league pitcher. Over a year in a month or two, he's been bad.
Yeah.
Like you don't get to just come back up here and reclaim your spot. You get to stay down there for a little while. You're going to figure it out, and we're going to make damn sure you figure it out. And when you figured it out, we're going to make sure again you figured it out.
Now, do you think because the way the bullpen is performing right now, that's kind of affording them the opportunity to say, like, you know what, let's ride this out till as long as we...
I don't, because I would be calling up other guys instead of him. You can stay down there because we know you're not the answer.
Okay.
And we've seen that. So like he is eligible to be called up right now. I mean, but they called up Chase Shugart, the other day, whenever he could have been called up because of an injury.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm with you, Tyler. Like he needs to like really earn it back. Like right now, when it comes to like the depth chart in AAA, obviously Shugart was ahead of him. And for me, like Hunter Stratton's ahead of him too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you need an arm right now, a bullpen arm, I'm calling Hunter Stratton.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're coming back into probably a lower leverage spot. Like I'm not giving him anything high leverage for a long time.
Well, that's on a transition. So like I'm with you. I think, of course, again, because how the bullpen's performing kind of is affording the opportunity to say, let's just sit back and ride this out. There's not a need to get the best version of David Bednar back when they're doing this, right? So then I guess that's my next question too, is when he does come back, what do you think his role is? I mean, I think we all can agree like he's not coming back to be the closer. But what do you think his role is, and like how long or what circumstances are going to need to take place for him to possibly retain that role?
Like right now,
now, Dennis Santana is still shut out. Like, is he the closer?
Dennis Santana is my closer. Dennis Santana is my closer until otherwise. Like, yeah, agreed. At this point, like if Bednar comes back, he is a middle reliever for me. He has that Chase Shugart role where it's like, hey, you need somebody to get out of the 5th inning or pitch a 6th inning. Like that's the role David Bednar has for a while. Now he can ultimately prove himself in that role and work himself into a more higher leverage role, which I think is what we all want to see him do. Like we all want to see David Bednar succeed. Like he's going to have to prove it. You can't just hand him that job like they did out of spring training. And I think that's what's so confusing to me is they said all spring, we don't have a closer right now. We don't have a closer right now. And it was because Bednar was not good last year. And then he wasn't good in spring training. And then the first week of the year, they just went to him over and over and over again in high leverage situations. And it didn't work. He's not going to get those opportunities for a while now. And he doesn't deserve them.
No. Like Dennis Santana rolled in here as a waiver claim, basically. Was he a waiver claim or a trade? I can't remember.
He's a waiver claim.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, like, and look where he's at now. He's closing games for you. I'm not ready to just let David Bednar roll back in the doors and say, all right, he's got the 9th inning again. No. He gets 6th inning. He gets 5th inning. He gets whatever's left over. If and when he comes back, because I think he will come back at some point here. Probably, I would venture to guess a month or so. But in terms of giving him any sort of high leverage or like competitive, important at bats, no, not until you prove to me you can get a major league hitter out, because you have not shown that.
And that is what I find interesting. That's why I want to kind of pick your two's brains, because again, like 2-time All-Star, David Bednar, he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball up until last year. We all know that, right? But before last year, one of the best pitchers in baseball. And I think it's interesting that if and when they deem him ready to come back, that you guys think that he might not even be a closer again this year. That like no matter what he does, it might not allow him to become the closer. It's all on Dennis Santana. And I'm kind of with you. Like I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, like the way Dennis Santana is pitching, I feel like it's more or less it's his to lose than for David's to just regain, which is crazy to think. But then also, if you're having that conversation, should David Bednar regain it because of how good he is? That's also probably meaning this bullpen's pretty damn good. So that's probably good news.
While we're at it, like Holderman is the same boat.
Holderman, well, I feel way less. Holderman's never been there. Holderman's always been the guy that I could see him being good. He has the stuff, but he's never done it. Bednar's done it over a course of many years.
Yeah, Holderman will put it together for a few months at a time, and then we've seen it kind of come apart. But Holderman is going to he's on the IL right now. It's a little bit different situation, so he's going to go on a rehab assignment, and then they're going to have to decide at the end of the rehab assignment, okay, are you joining the team or are you optioned to AAA? And right now, Colin Holderman would be in AAA.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
There's just, first off, you don't need him. Don't need him right now. And he's stunk.
Who has
let him
poorly
earn it
enough
back.
to lose their spot?
Yeah, let him earn it back.
With you.
It goes back to the Donardo accountability that we always hear.
Yep.
Where's
He's
the
got
accountability
options.
with the organization?
He's got options, so you can use them. Yep.
Good stuff. Good talk. Good debate. So let me tell you guys a little bit here. So we don't really talk about this too much. I know some of you guys use it, but putting it out there for you guys to know. So today's show is powered by SeatGeek. Whether you're heading into PNC Park or catching a concert, use promo code North Shore 9 for $20 off your first order. That's North Shore 9, all spelled out, one word, $20 off. SeatGeek, get in there. So yeah, again, it's a great opportunity. If you don't have your tickets for Paul Skeen's bobblehead night, go on SeatGeek, use the promo code for your first time. North Shore 9, $20 cheaper. So,
and that's for just using the code. Like when we were in Cincinnati this weekend, we used that code. We had 2 different people use that code. We saved $40 on tickets that weekend. Yeah,
there it is.
Love that.
That's right.
And that crappy ballpark in Cincinnati that Noah hates.
Exactly. I'll say this: their
All right,
ballpark's
guys.
not crappy, but it's not great.
They allowed you in, so it can't be that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That ain't
right.
great.
Yeah.
Cleveland Guardians coming into PNC Park. 3-game series. Buccos are 8-12. They've won their second series of the season against the Nationals. 3 out of 4. This is a big one because again, if they can win this, makes them 10-12. 10 and 11. I'm sorry, 13. I was thinking 11. 10-13. That's what we're talking about. Like, it's early in the season. Record doesn't truly matter. It's how you're playing, performing, and such. Winning this series gets them closer to 500, and it's closer to feeling like, okay, this team's not that far out of it. They do some things right here and whatnot. So, like, another big series per se coming up. Talented team, very similar team in the sense of market. So how are we feeling about this Guardian series? And again, Luis Ortiz returning.
I
tomorrow
want to take
night.
a dump all over this stupid city.
It's a good measuring stick because Cleveland's supposed to be a team that they're going to be in the playoff race this whole season. They are.
Oh, my bad.
probably
I'm sorry, not to. Never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
unbelievable. No, so as far as the Guardian series goes, it's good. It's a good measuring stick, and we talked about this with like the New York series too, where like you're going up against a pretty decent team. Cleveland probably, that whole AL Central, a lot of those guys are just kind of all lumped in together. I think in terms of talent, Detroit maybe being the top of the line there, but Cleveland, Kansas City, Minnesota, all sort of jumbled together. But they're a team that you want to measure yourself against because similar market size, similar situations. They need to win the same way that you need to win. They've been better at it than you, over the last 20, 25 years or so, 35 years or so, if you want to take it all the way back. So yeah, win this series. Facing Luis Ortiz is a nice little wrinkle in this too. I haven't watched any of Luis Ortiz's starts since he went over to Cleveland, but from what I've seen, he's mostly been like super shaky. Like he's had some good start. He had a really good start his last time out, struck out 10 batters, but his first 2 times out weren't that great, and he was really bad in spring training. So it would be cool to have Horwitz in this to kind of see like a Horwitz versus Luis Ortiz battle, like Colin said earlier. But no Horwitz means we just get to see Ortiz. So if we beat Ortiz, we win the trade. If we lose, we obviously lose the trade. We'll know in about 24 hours or so if we've won that trade.
I hope somehow Cleveland stays one game out of the playoffs, and it's because of at least one loss that happened during this series. I want to be the reason that this team doesn't get any happiness ever, and none of their fans get an ounce of happiness in their lifetime. I want them to have to look forward to Kenny Pickett starting at quarterback this year. I want them praying for Deshaun Watson to come back. I want this city to just melt into Lake Erie and just leave perfectly fine Ohio alone, because the rest of Ohio is okay. But Cleveland can go pound salt. Luis Ortiz is a scrub now. He's trash. Spencer Horwitz way better. They're not going to see any good pitching. Cleveland trades away Francisco Lindor for pennies because they're trash, a trash organization, just like the trash city they're in. Piss on them.
There you have it.
And screw LeBron.
Oh, Paul Skeen's starting on his bobblehead night too. That'll be fun.
Yeah,
and again, like I pointed out,
stupid fans get the bobblehead.
When Ellie had his bobblehead night, big time grand slam. So it only means Paul Skeen's going to probably do something that we can't say.
He's going to hit a grand slam.
Yes, that's what's going to happen.
The Pirates, they're going to have to make some weird double switch, which will mean they'll abandon their DH in the middle of the game. Paul Skeens will get a big at bat, hit a grand slam to win the game.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
He's going to go throw a complete game shutout with a grand slam.
I hope it's City burns.
Can't really do that, but oh well.
No, he can. I mean,
Awesome.
if something happens and the
I guess.
DH needs to go into the field, you forfeit your DH and the pitcher moves into your lineup.
Guys, I might die if like Austin Hedges has a good series.
I was going to say, what if we've got? So yeah, we do have a Luis Ortiz revenge game, but we also have an Austin Hedges revenge game.
Is he going to get in the game to play?
Ooh, I'll bet
he did have
he'll
that
play
monster
one.
home run earlier this year.
I bet he'll play one game. Because the Pirates have no lefties though, so I don't know. I bet he goes on Sunday.
I'd hit him.
I bet he goes on Sunday.
You're going to hit him?
Yeah, I would hit
But also, Carlos Santana, also a Cleveland Guardian.
him. I like him.
I miss him.
Carlos, you're on a bad team, but shout out to you.
But anyways, I mean, pitching matchups. Carmen Majinski on Friday. And then Skeens Keller. I mean, you like hearing those two. And then, yeah, Luis Ortiz. I mean, Luis Ortiz and Majinski, I don't know what Luis Ortiz is going to do. Like you said, it's been pretty bad up until like that last start where he looked amazing. But it's the Pirates offense. So there's a really good chance he can look amazing again. But again, outside of that, Blake Lively, and then Logan Allen.
Blake Lively.
Yes, Blake. Yes. Ben.
I was like, that would be impressive.
I'm like, I'll buy tickets to see Blake Lively pitch against the Pirates.
I say Blake Lively versus Paul Skeens. That's must-see TV.
Very much. I don't know how Livy will take that. But yeah, and like Logan Allen, like the pitching, it's not that fearful.
They should be able
But
to
again,
hit it.
it's the Pirates offense. I don't know what to expect. I just know the Pirates definitely have the pitching matchups in this, but that doesn't really mean anything because they faced Trevor Williams today. And if Oneil Cruz doesn't hit that home run, again, they might still be playing.
I think that's the concern here, right? Like Cleveland, you're used to them having a pretty decent pitching staff. So far this year, they have not been good. And you look at them, and like outside, I feel like Gavin Williams is a good starting pitcher, but and Tanner Bybee, but like the rest of them, meh, and they're missing those two. Like they're getting the worst three starters there for Cleveland. So, but yeah, like you saw the Pirates just struggle they didn't score against Jake Irvin. They had a leadoff home run against Trevor Williams, and then he shut them down after that. So you're still worried that this team can't make bad pitchers pay. But yeah, Cleveland so far this year, 22nd in the league in starting pitcher ERA. So yeah, you hope that you can capitalize on it.
I think you got to get 2 out of 3 here. Like you feel a lot better getting 2 out of 3.
Yeah. Well, you got to win 2 out of 3.
I don't want to say it keeps the season alive a little bit, but it does like engage a little bit more. You feel like you got a puncher's chance still.
Yeah, like it's too early to say you have to win 2 out of 3, but to win 2 out of 3 after the Nationals 3 out of 4, you want to talk about momentum. That can maybe start building this momentum to get you back to where you want to be this early in the season when you had this terrible start.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I don't think you can win a season right now, but you can lose one. I mean, so like that's the problem. Like if you go in here and right after your 3 out of 4 against Washington, if you get swept this weekend, and all of a sudden you're 8-15, and you just got swept at home in front of your fans by Cleveland, like you need to give your fans something to kind of like gravitate to and grab a hold of. And winning 2 out of 3 this weekend, I think will go at least a little bit of a ways towards people saying, all right, maybe we don't suck completely, but a sweep, and you're sitting at 8-15, and then that's not a good spot to be in. So yeah, I mean, it is a big series. You can't fall that far behind this early. I know it's early and there's still a lot of time, but you don't want to play yourself out of it so quick.
You need to take Cleveland's neck, put it on a curb, and just jump as high as you can. Speaking of which, it's WrestleMania weekend this week as well. So maybe we see some Seth Rollins curb stomps by the Pittsburgh Pirates.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. And also like
Miz is
attendance
from
wise.
Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't like him. So is Logan Paul.
Does the Miz have a big match this week? Does he have anything going on at WrestleMania?
No, I think Logan Paul does though.
Okay, well there you go.
But
screw Logan Paul.
Yeah, thank you. That's why Jim's my favorite.
I'm good with that. But yeah. But again, I was going to say, in the perspective of Travis Williams, it might be too early for the team as far as winning, but 4 games so far, under 9,000 sold tickets. That's not a good sign. So, like to Jim's point, maybe as a grand scheme of baseball things, like, yeah, you don't want a loss, but it's still early. But like, that's not going to be good for ticket sales. That's not going to be good for the president. So he's probably hoping for a nice little win here to get fans back into the seats. But I just want to point out a quick stat before we get out of here also, because I found this kind of interesting because how anemic this offense has been. Now, this doesn't include today's stats. This is coming into today. But fellas, the Pirates offense is actually good with runners in scoring position. I don't know if you know this, but they're batting 288, 382, 464, a 129 weighted runs created plus with batters in running scoring position. Sorry, with runners in scoring position. 8th in baseball. Problem is, when nobody's on base, they bat 184, 279, 282, good for a 63 weighted runs created plus, 4th worst in baseball. So they simply don't get on base. But hey, when someone finally gets over to second, they've actually been doing pretty good.
So you're saying they can't hit.
They can't hit until they need to score someone. Then they kind of can hit. But that doesn't happen.
We just broke news on the NS9 podcast. The Pirates cannot hit.
So, yeah. All I'm saying is get this game to the 10th.
Yeah.
Get this game to the 10th.
That's all we need.
Yeah, I'm like Doug said here, I'm pretty sure these are just greatly skewed by Monday's game when they went 8 for 8 at one point with runners in scoring position. But hey, what is it? Stats are just 40% of stats are made up 60% of the time.
There you go. So 2 out of 3. Tyler's calling it for a sweep, I'm sure, right?
No, I just need 2 out of 3. I need them to go home in tears.
That works. We out of here?
Yeah. Or else I'll
All
start
right,
ranting
guys.
about Cleveland.
We appreciate you all. Thank you for joining, watching the show. We'll be back again tomorrow for the post-game show. If you haven't done so already, of course, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, listen to the podcast, leave a nice little review. Check out our Patreon to be a member if you want, $4.99 a month. We give out some pretty cool stuff. Be a member here on YouTube. You can start using those emojis. And hey, you might find yourself getting a ticket to a Pirates game. You know, we've been giving away those every day. We have tickets for every home game. We give them away, each different social media aspect. Of course, we bring them over to YouTube as well for our members to give back. And if you want, join our Discord because it's a great community. And sometimes when the winners of the tickets can't go and we get them back last minute, if you're in the Discord, we raffle them off to you guys. So cool stuff. We appreciate you all. Like I said, any last words, Jim, Ty, for we're out of here?
Let's go Bucks.
Screw Cleveland.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.